Hey guys, Justin here with JHart Modelworks. It is time for another update on the Aston Martin DBS from Tamiya. Now, as I mentioned last week, we do not have the car in 2K clear coat yet. I was waiting on some more 2K to come in. I actually got it in. Brand new set of clear from Spray Gunner. Came in last Friday, in fact. However, it has been too cold, too wet, too rainy, or too humid for me to spray. I don't like to spray below 60 degrees Fahrenheit or above 60% humidity. You start running into some problems. The colder it is, the longer it takes cure to harden and dry up. The longer it takes for it to cure, the more time gravity has to pull on the clear, and along the sides, that clear will start to drip down towards the bottom, and you end up with ripples in the clear or just a big sag along the bottom edge. The problem with humidity, the big problem with humidity, is that moisture will enter into the clear and it will fog up, or blush is what it's referred to. You'll get areas where either it is very foggy or it is very matte finished, which is caused by the water, the moisture in the air permeating into the clear and causing problems. So as a rule of thumb, I just don't spray clear if it's too cold or too humid, so I haven't had a chance. What we did do, however, as I mentioned in the last video, is we focused on the interior and we've made a lot of progress. So let's go ahead and get the camera flipped around and let's take a look. Alright guys, as you can see, we have a lot of stuff to discuss here. We're going to go ahead and get started with this. So while I have not clear coated the body, James Duff from the Stash Report also hosts the Automotive Podcast, which I believe that's the beginning of every month. I usually check that out on the Scale Model Experiment channel. That's James Tester's channel. But James Duff reached out to me, and he was like, hey Justin, do you really need 2K clear coat for the under panel of the car? Because for the most part, really no one is going to really look down there unless you're at one of these model shows where the judges are picking up cars. And while he didn't say dummy, I kind of felt it in my heart there. He's absolutely right. You know, he's like, why don't you just use a utility gloss like a lacquer from Tamiya or Mr. Hobby? Which is what I did. I used some of my GX112 UV cut gloss clear and got that taken care of so I can start moving on to the chassis stuff. We have our interior tub, which I used some gunmetal embossing powder. Don't love embossing powder. You can see there's some thin spots in there. I may go back and try to do it again, but embossing powder usually is not as forgiving as flocking is. For the most part, you're not going to see it anyhow. It's going into the bottom. It's a hardtop car. It's not a convertible, so you're not really going to be able to see in there very well, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But gunmetal embossing powder, I like embossing powder more for modern cars. It represents a finer weave carpet like the more modern cars have. Now, I've seen two different versions of the DBS, not the kit, but the actual car. One has full rear seats with like a cushion and whatnot, and the other one is the version that Tamiya puts in this kit, where these are more like little storage pods, and you've got these little metal tray things here, and I don't know if they fold down so that people can sit in there or not, but they do stick up on the cars that have these. So in the photo etch set from Tamiya is a set of these really nice metal plates that look just like the ones in the actual car. I did end up going with the lighter colored Zero Paints Ferrari interior leather Koyo, which is this nice light tan, and I went with the Pro Scale black gray leather for these inserts, which is a nice dark gray. I really like the way that turned out. We have some more photo etch down in here for some speakers. There's speakers all over the car. You'll see them here in a bit. To go along with the tub, we have our center console complete with a little cup holder in there. And I masked that off. For the silver trim, for the most part, anything that isn't photo etch, I went in and just did some gloss black, some Tamiya LP1, and then shot the same silver from Gaia Notes, the 131, and it makes a really nice trim silver too. We also have, for the center, we have the shifter plate, and I took some liberties with some colors here and there. So the nice thing about building scale models is you can paint things however you want them. So I used the gray for the rubber, for the leather boot. I think this is actually leather. And then I sprayed the peacock green for the shift knob. I thought that would be a cool accent color. I have also sprayed that green on the handbrake. So there's not a lot of the green on the interior, just a couple of pieces here and there. The last piece where I used that on is our steering wheel. So that center is a piece of photo etch from the KA set. I painted it in the green and then carefully with a cotton bud scraped it off of the Aston Martin logo. And then I hit the entire little centerpiece with some of the clear Let's resin. That's a UV resin, and just cured that up and then glued that into place. Got a little glue down in here, but you shouldn't really see it. And then we did some buttons in here with a little bit of Vallejo white and our 0.3mm mechanical pencil. We have our dashboard here, which we used a lot of Vallejo silver in here on these buttons, and just detail painted out the buttons to the best of our ability. This is the silver, the 131 Gaia Notes silver, which we masked all of this off to spray the silver, and then masked it off and sprayed some more Mr. Surfacer primer over the AC vents to get the silver trim around the vents, and then the matte black vents. Those turned out pretty dang well. Our dash is the decal goes on the model kit, and then there's a photo etch piece in the KA set. So I sprayed all of that with the Mr. Surfacer and then came back in again with one of the fine Tamiya cotton buds and just scraped away the primer off of the trim rings and that little Aston Martin logo down there at the bottom. So that all looks really good. We also have one of the photo etch speaker grills up here. So I did this in Alclad's gunmetal after I did some Mr. Surfacer black primer. Alclad's gunmetal is more like a satin black. It's a very strange color. We have our photo etch pedals down here. These come off of the Tamiya photo etch set. So the sides of the dash actually have these recesses in them. On the car, this is where the seat adjustment buttons are, but these aren't in the kit. The KA set has a set of photo etch buttons for this, and I lost one of those. So I took a photo of the other one, took some measurements off of it, and then 3D modeled up my own set of buttons. They have much more three-dimensional depth than just a piece of photo etch would. So there's one of those on either side. So I think those look really cool and fill in those spaces really nicely. And we have our seats. Again, I went with the gray on the centers. These came out pretty good. I got them a little messy when I started doing panel lines on them. The black stained a little bit. And then there are, so this will be the driver's side seat. There are these little pieces here. These are part of the KA photo etch set that go on the sides of the seat. Door cards. These are really cool. I really like the way Tamiya did these. This center bar is a separate piece, so it makes it a lot easier to paint the center inserts back there that I did in the gray. It also makes it easier to paint this center bar. I took some liberties here as well and did this in a silver. Typically it's in a black or carbon fiber. I did not want to do any carbon fiber on the interior. I'm not really looking to do carbon fiber on this car at all. I just want a nice clean build. I don't want to mess with carbon fiber. We have some photo etch speakers from the KA set. These are really nice. Tamiya gives you decals, and they're not bad. They're just a little less realistic than the photo etch. And the KA set also gives you the little buttons for the window adjusters. You may notice that there are holes in the top of this. There are not holes in the kit part normally. On the actual Aston Martin DBS, the seat belt retractors for the front seat belts sit right on top of the side panel for the interior, right behind the rear door. So I went and did some 3D modeling. I 3D modeled up my own seatbelt retractors. I don't know if you can see. It would help if I had them turned the right way, but you still can't see. There is an opening in the front of the seatbelt retractors. I'm going to be using some 2mm wide hunter green ribbon that I got off of eBay for my seatbelts. The seatbelt ribbon goes through the hole in the front and comes out the bottom with a lot of frustration and some really fine tweezers. So you take your ribbon and you slide it in through this hole like this. The seatbelt retractor sits flush along the top. Glue your ribbon down in the back. So you run your seatbelt ribbon down like this, down to the floor. I've cut an opening in the bottom of my floor pan, so I'm going to be able to run the seatbelt material out through the bottom and glue that along the outside as well, so you won't see any glue anywhere. It'll be a nice, really clean installation for my seatbelts. So that's where I'm going with that. Speaking of the seatbelts, the last thing that we have to talk about here real quick is just these right here. These are the modern seatbelt buckles for more modern cars. I 3D modeled these. I have added these to my seatbelt hardware set, so if you pick up my seatbelt hardware set off Colts 3D, you will get these included, as well as the more old school muscle car ones. If you've already bought my set and you've already downloaded it and did not get these, you can go back to Colts 3D, you can re-download the package, and these will be in the package for free for no additional charge. So I'm just going to be adding a couple of these in for my front seatbelt buckles. Alright guys, here it is, all completed. The interior looks really, really nice. I'm very happy with it. Typical Tamiya fashion, everything just kind of fell into place, which is one of the things I love about building Tamiya kits, because when I go to do a bunch of modifications and details like these seat belts, I know that any problems that I run into are actually problems that I caused. It's not just the kit fighting with me. Now, we did run into an issue. It was a fairly significant issue. When I'm placing glue, I tend to use my mechanical pencil, dip it in some glue, and apply it with the pencil lead. And that allows me to put down very, very precise drops of glue exactly where I want them. Sometimes I'm not looking for this level of precision though. Case in point, the dashboard. It is only held in place by the center, where the center meets the tub. I wanted significantly more glue down there. When I want more glue, what I will typically use is one of these glue applicators. When I first got these and when I first started using them, I didn't trust them. I was always afraid that like the end was going to shoot off and glue was going to go everywhere, or glue was going to come out through this bottom, like it was just going to ooze out and go everywhere. But it never actually happened. So I got pretty comfortable using them. I put them on, and I guess just there was some glop on the end of the glue bottle already or something. It did not seat right, and sure enough, a big old circle of CA glue dropped right here on that big flat surface. Came in with a paper towel, just blotted straight down, just straight up and down on it until I got all the CA glue off, and that left a big circle where that glue had been and had lifted up all the paint. Let it set, let it cure, came back with some 400 grit display sponge, sanded off all the glue, got it nice and smooth. I then used some 1000 and 3000 Trizact to get the surface smooth and make sure there weren't any scratches in it. And then came in, masked off all the black, and resprayed this center. Now, luckily at that point, the only thing that I had in place was the dashboard. So I didn't really have to worry about too much of this. It was really easy to mask off the black for the back seats, and then mask off pretty much right across here to cover all the carpeting. None of the rest of this was in the way, and I could come back in and respray that tan, get it nice and smooth, and then hit it with a little bit of some Mr. Hobby GX113, just as their flat UV cut clear. Tone down the shine and even everything out, and you cannot tell that we had a giant blob of glue in here at all. So save the day. I'm going to go back to not trusting these and really pay a lot of attention to the base down here, because I don't want that to happen again. Our seatbelts worked perfectly. You can see there's absolutely no glue at all. That is because the seatbelts themselves are glued in from the outside of the tub. There's a tiny, tiny bit of glue added just to the edges of the holes in the tub. So when the seatbelt retractors were pushed down into the holes, it pushed any glue down instead of out. And so it's really, really clean. There's no issues at all seeing glue on anything, to be honest with you. There's not a single visible drop of glue here. Everything laid down perfect. We do have our little bits of green here on the shifter, down there with the handbrake. There's right there on the center of the steering wheel. I added some of this green washi tape to do a 12 o'clock stripe. Don't love this. This is some of the worst washi tape I've ever seen. I got it when I was doing the Ferrari SP2. I wanted to do some green kind of leather door handle type things, and I picked it up from Hobby Lobby in their scrapbooking section. Washi tape is the same stuff that Tamiya tape is made out of. Usually it has the same adhesive, the same kind of texture. This stuff is thinner material wise and doesn't have nearly as much grip as Tamiya tape. It does not stick for crud. I did end up using a tiny, tiny drop of CA glue at the very end to kind of glue the very, very end of it down. So it's a little thicker than I would love, but it's not horrible. The glue isn't visible. So from here, our next steps, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully this weekend, I will have a day where it is warm enough and dry enough that I can spray some 2K clear on the body and get that curing up. And then we're going to move on to doing the chassis and the suspension, the engine stuff, and trying to get ourselves in a good position to wrap it up for a final assembly, which will probably be the week after next. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I always appreciate you watching the videos, supporting the channel. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment. All of that really does help the channel. So I appreciate everything you guys do. I'm going to get back to work on this. Well, not this, because this is done. But I'm going to get back to work on that chassis, and I will catch you guys on the next one.